Hey everybody, this is Robert's Breaking Gun Reviews. Just before we get into this video, I just want to say if you like the content on my channel, please hit that like button. Also, if you're not a subscriber, please be a subscriber and join in the fun. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, and any help I could get would be really happy. Wow. Would be really appreciated. So with me screwing that up, enjoy the review. Have a great day. Alright, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun Reviews, back to talk more comics. Tonight we're talking about Something is Killing the Children, issues 1 and 2, because I'm late to the party, as usual these days. I actually got this in the mail. I had to so that's why the review's actually late, because I didn't get to find this copy without getting a second, third, or fourth printing. I wanted the first printing, so I had to wait a little while before I did this. But I'm kind of glad, because you kind of need make a full review. I wanted to be able to talk about it, and they're both really fast reads, kind of like a Walking Dead issue. And this is by James Tynion IV, and I gotta say, it's pretty dope. It's real dark though. So this story is a horror story, a little kind of a horror fable kind of thing. And full spoilers if you have not read this, but all I'm saying is right now, I'm already going to tell you, I highly recommend this book if you're into this kind of thing. I've been trying to read more independents lately, and I'm glad that I've been starting to read Donny Cates's Redneck and Assassin Nation I've been reading. But this one is something different and special and real. Like, I can see this being a movie. So, Something's Killing the Children. And we start with these kids playing Truth or Dare. I know, and there's a lot of talking in this, but it's all part of the story. I feel like Independence, this by just because we're not talking about superheroes or anything here. So this kid starts talking about this image he had. You know, he saw this creature out in his front yard, and they don't buy it. But we cut away, after he tells the story of this thing that was there and then it wasn't. Something that's in this ravine. You know, spooky stuff could be down there. You don't know, but nobody believes him. But we hard cut. I can just see this hard cut to him being interrogated by the cops. Got blood on his shirt. Talking about how this isn't real, this couldn't have happened, it was just a story, blah, blah, blah. Somehow the story came to life. Or whatever, maybe it was just coincidence that whatever happened. He talks about how he fell into this ravine and he couldn't find his friends. And all he knows is that he just remembers screaming. And I do that, and then boom, something is killing the children. Yeah. And so what I really love about this is the introduction to this character here. So we see this character coming, there's a girl, a half person, right, missing an eye. And this person comes walking out of the dark with these two great big knives in her hand, right? And then look really closely at, her face. Right there. Okay? That is out of Nightmares. But they start talking like normal. And it's creepy as hell. And you find out that she's getting this phone call from somebody called St. George. And there's more of them they're looking for. That's what the half girl says. There are more of them, aren't there? But you don't know what they're talking about. And so you kind of have this assumption right off the bat that this half girl and this crazy looking girl with a couple of giant knives are the ones doing this. I thought, oh, that's interesting, just kind of get the villain, out of the way. And so we cut to the kid, James in school being picked on, people thinking he killed him, people calling him because he was gay and they didn't like him, that he was, he's the one who did it. That he cut off people's heads. He's got the principal who's on his side. He's telling him like, man, you really should have punched that kid in the face. I don't know what principal talks like that, but he says like, I'm so just out of like, I'm so new. I don't even know like. He's like, I'm a mess. They should fire me. I was just in school a couple of years ago. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So he's feeling very unqualified to be in this position, especially in this situation. And so we get this girl. She's on the bus. She's headed to the next place. But where's Half Girl? We don't see her again. But she is holding this little toy octopus in her hands here in this panel next to this one. And they're talking about all the missing kids and somebody should do something about it. And we get to see how many kids have gone missing. It's quite a few. And she tracks James down. Like, how the hell did she know where he was? Probably from the phone call, maybe. I don't know. But she starts asking him questions about what he saw. But not like what you told the police. What'd you really see? The thing that you're telling people that you saw. And we get the whole like kind of like his experience and what happened. Finding his friends cut in half. Finding, little by one, finding each of the kids just in different scenes of terrible horror. Not being able to talk to one kid's like his face is all gone. And then we get a look at what is doing. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty messed. And so they want to be monster. She's telling him that he's got a monster in the woods. She's going to kill it, and he wants to help. Which is where it ends. The first issue ends. And I gotta say, I was hooked because I was like, okay, what a way to mislead me. Like, maybe it was obvious to other people, but to me, when they did the reveal of what he saw, I was not 100% convinced that it wasn't her until we saw the creature. And so I thought there was an interesting little twist that the person that I thought was the villain was really the monster hunter. So in issue 2, we jump right into another family that's also experienced a loss. This guy's name is Tommy and his mother. They've been looking for his sister, her daughter. And how, she wants him to put up flyers at the restaurant that he works at. And a lot of this is very much how people talk about things like this. I feel like one of the great things about this story so far is the writing. Some of it's comic booky, but a lot of it is real, actual dialogue. I feel like a lot of it's very authentic sounding about how work policies involve, like, how you can grieve and how you can, like, try to find somebody. But, like, customer policy, like, we don't want to offend the customers or make the customers sad, so we can't put the missing kids' pictures on their car because they came there to be entertained and to take their mind off of things, not think about missing kids. But I mean, at what point shouldn't a area forget about going out to eat and start worrying about what's going on around them? But corporate policies, like I know all about that. So this kid leaves the house. He's feeling bad about himself, and he's feeling bad about how he left things with his mother. And as he goes out to his car, the thing's in front of him, but he can't see it. And it doesn't look like it has a reflection. So I feel like we're dealing with something that I guess maybe only kids can see. That as you get older, maybe this is one of those stories that has to do with, like, imagination. How you become an adult, you start kind of forgetting the nightmares, forgetting about the things that are under your bed, that kind of thing. Like how they talk about how little kids... I was just listening on the radio, in fact, today about people saying, talking about weird things kids say that make you think that they're seeing something. And this isn't the first time that this has been done, but I really, really like that there. Because it made me go like, oh, like, is he about to die? Because, I mean, then we hard cut to something is killing the children. And we get she's taking him, now look, she's taking James to an Applebee's. My favorite part of this whole thing is her talking about how restaurants are basically going to be gone. Like nobody, um, she wants to like set up at one of the booths in the restaurant so she can like work on finding this monster. And she pays him like $50 to sit there. Um, but they talk about what's going on, and I love like he asks her, "Why are we really here?" And she goes, "Because these kinds of places are all going to go out of business in a few years, and for the most part, nobody goes to them anymore. And they've got big tables." And I got to tell you something. I don't know what it's like out in big cities and everything, but a lot of restaurants around here, around me, places that have been open for a while, like Applebee's and things, they have been closing. Applebee's, Ruby Tuesday, White Castle, all sorts of places that you think were pretty much, like I've always wondered, like, why are so many people going to restaurants still? They're so damn expensive. And over the last few years, like, places have just been shutting down, and not just one store, but like chains like across the country are just shutting down. And I don't know if that's something that I haven't really been paying attention to as far as like nationwide, but it seems like it's starting to look like a pretty accurate statement. And we get this little kind of quick montage of like her in action that yes, she has done this before. Another thing I like is this waitress and how she starts gossiping. Like immediately went to another coworker, which is something that's so notorious, not just in real life, but in restaurants. People just can never shut their mouths up about other people in restaurants. Let me tell you, I was a waiter for a good portion of my life, and it is so accurate how this girl talks, and just in people's business. So they do some tracking. They're trying to track down where this thing is and where it could be. And Tommy comes back up to the table and asks like really what they're doing here, because James is supposed to be in school, and so one thing leads to another, where James kind of fucks up, drops the bag, and knife falls out. She has to subdue Tommy, and they're sent out packing to go anywhere else there. And she gets another phone call about you'll get to. She wants him to be able to help, but right now she's got to do this kind of work on her own. She gets a phone call again about it doesn't happen every time. You can go ahead and tell people because nobody's going to believe you anyway. They're going to think you're crazy. And she gets back to the hotel where somebody tried to call her, and she starts talking to nobody in particular in this panel right here about how she has to at least try to figure out what it is that's killing these kids before she goes out there and tries to stop it. And it turns out she's talking to her little stuffed octopus thing, which begins to talk to her. So as if this can't get any weirder, now her doll is talking to her. The sheriff comes by to kick her out because now word's getting around about what's going on with her. And I love that we see the shadow under the door. Like all of a sudden that squid or that octopus is a lot bigger all of a sudden. And she opens the door to talk to the cops. Nothing funny going on in here, officer. And what we have here is like the spirit that's living inside of this doll. Looks like I don't know what. It reminds me of something that would be in the book Saga, Brian K. Vaughan's book. But it's really interesting. As this actually just kicks it up another notch. Like, what is going on here? Okay, because we got this monster story, right? Where this monster is killing a bunch of kids. She's a monster hunter, so clearly this is a bigger world. How long this book is going to be, or maybe this is just a beginning chapter of a continuing story. Maybe like it set in different, like Something is Killing the Children, book 1 or volume 1 or whatever. Maybe we'll get more volumes of this. But so far, this is a pretty incredible book. I highly recommend it. If you're kind of tired of the like superhero thing and you want to try new things, I'm definitely going to recommend this book highly. So anyway, if you like this review, please hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Keep reading comics, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.